I was gonna wear the mask, but no.
It's all.
I
don't know. I'm hoping Halloween's not canceled this year.
On the next one, if you wear that one, I wear the Jason.
It's either that one, or I could be your father.
I like that one.
That's tight. That's tight. I approve.
There it is.
I approve.
You know, my wife said, "Babe, you should wear that to work."
Not for nothing. We technically can that we're working from home, right?
Yeah.
We'll go back to it.
I was supposed to be working from home today. Man, life happened.
Life situations.
I just want to let everybody know. Some of you guys have really well groomed and trimmed beards. I'm jealous.
Listen, I'm doing this on my own. I'm watching tutorial videos.
Oh, that's what you want to do. You want to grow your channel. You got to do the self-cut videos.
Oh yeah, you're all.
Those are going viral right now.
I literally did mine yesterday.
So crazy.
I might do that.
They're totally going viral.
At my job, you either have beards or you're bald. There's no in between.
Oh.
Sometimes both.
Yep, sometimes both.
I'm just adding the description real quick. I'm pasting it right now.
Everyone's
link. Everybody's
by the way, TGI
Twitter. There you go.
That's what I'm doing. I'm sharing it to my Facebook page and my Twitter.
Again, I got everyone's YouTube and Twitter page on the description down below. That way,
for shizzle.
Pick on you. There is one thing I gotta do is that I need to shorten the logo because it's a little bit too big on the thumbnail.
Yeah, I noticed it was wide. Like I had to screenshot it to fit it on Instagram.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing for the Twitter.
Damn. So
maybe we can make a square one just for like the social media, and then the long one can be like for like a backdrop, like for YouTube.
Hey, what's going on, Kutetsu and the 3 under? That's Cloudy's son.
Mm-hmm.
Kutetsu, what's happening, dude? All right, everyone good? I think if we just get started real quick. Who's ready? Ready, Freddie?
Ready to rock and roll.
Ready.
All right, let's see. So what I want to do. Oh yeah, before we start, let's introduce we got formerly known as Black Ass Gamer. He's a black Pokemon trainer now. Is that what you prefer to go with?
Yes, sir. Black Pokemon trainer.
All right. Pokemon trainer. Welcome into the podcast. What we want is for you to give us a little bit of about your life in gaming from beginning to end. You know, not 20 minutes long, but like just give us a, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then also give us your favorite game of all time.
Oh man, that last one's gonna be a rough one, so I'll think about it as I'm going through. So in terms of my gaming history, I've always been playing video games. My mom, my dad did the same. I've been playing since 2. I started off with a Sega console. I don't know which one. Never been a huge Sega fan. Sonic the Hedgehog is always one of my favorite games, though. I actually beat a lot of games when I was younger. Donkey Kong was one of my favorite games. Beat that like when I was 3 or 4. Link to the Past came up after that. I was a huge Super Nintendo gamer. Super Mario RPG was also another one of my favorites. Moved on, started playing PlayStation, Xbox on the computer. I didn't discriminate. If it had a good game, I bought the console. I built a computer just so that I can play that game. Moving fast forward to my adulthood, lost contact with gaming. Got a girlfriend at the time, but didn't really play a lot of video games. And I was going to college, long distance relationship. Just lost contact, and then like once I went through that breakup, one of my friends actually got me back into some serious gaming. I bought a Wii, and and just played a lot of games on there. Played Mario Galaxy, good game. Another game that I didn't complete. Still enjoyed the game though. And then I got back into gaming. Got built another computer. Started doing a lot of computer gaming, and then fast forward a little bit for a little bit more. 2016, 2017ish. Started a YouTube channel. My first video on my YouTube channel, if you guys go and look, it's not going to be a gaming video. It's going to be a video of me modding one of my cars that I have from 2016. And then I started streaming. The very first video game that I streamed was Dark Cloud 2. I had a microphone. I was on it, but like, you know, it was my first stream, so I was shy. I wasn't really doing much. And then fast forward a little bit more, built another computer because I had to sell the other one because I became jobless and I was looking for money. So I built another one a little bit later. And that's when I really started like getting into to video game streaming. I started uploading videos of myself playing Final Fantasy VII, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Beat the game, took me like a month or two, and then as I upgraded my computer, I was able to actually start streaming. Started streaming like just like random games, whatever I played. It was on the PS4, Nintendo Switch, Wii U, computer games, whatever. If I liked it, I was streaming it. And then one of my viewers got me in contact with Mr. Switch, and kind of just took off from there. Then eventually I wanted to like centralize my channel a little bit more. And one thing I always loved playing when I was growing up, and like to this day, was Pokemon. If you asked me what I was playing at any given time, it could have been Pokemon. Like there could have been a high chance because I always played Pokemon with my friends. We always did multiplayer battles through like the Game Boy Advance links and whatnot. And when the new Pokemon game came out for Nintendo Switch, I just played it like for hours over and over again, shiny hunting, beating the game, catching all the Pokemon. And that's when I switched my name to Black Pokemon Trainer. And I'm primarily a shiny hunter now. But I still do play I don't discriminate. I still do play a lot of other games. The Legend of Zelda franchise still remains one of my favorite franchises of all time. And here we are today.
Awesome.
All right. Favorite game of all time?
All time. That is still a hard one. I will give you my favorite series of all time. It's definitely going to be Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
Two of my favorite ones are the ones that came out for GameCube, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Nice.
Didn't like the part in Wind Waker when you had to go and collect all the Triforce pieces. That part can be taken out of the game completely. They made it a little bit better on the remake, but still not fun. But I love the combat like in Wind Waker. Definitely, my opinion, has one of the best combats of all Legend of Zelda games. Twilight Princess, it was a darker story, which I loved it. I just loved the story. A lot of people don't. They didn't appreciate how original it was not. How they brought back Ganon and all that. But I enjoyed Twilight Princess.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Link turns into a wolf. I mean, come on.
What about Skyward Sword?
Ooh, would you be disappointed if I didn't play that?
Oh, no, I would actually just
God.
played it like
Oh, I'm not the only one. Oh, thank God, I'm not the only one.
I watched a friend play it. I'm familiar with the story of Twilight. Skyward Sword. So it's not an unfamiliar Zelda game. It's just one that I haven't played yet.
I'd recommend it. It's a very good game. It's at the very beginning of the timeline. So, but I like the Wii controls it had in it. Had a lot of precision with the sword controls. So it was a lot of fun. So I'd go back and give that a shot if you have it. I don't even know if you have it. But
I mean, I have a Wii, so I can definitely just buy the game. It'll probably cost like $100 now.
No, but if you can get it on the Wii U, on that Wii shop on the Wii U.
Okay, we can do that too. Apple Wii U. It'll probably be like what, $20 on there.
Probably.
Hey guys, real quick. Thanks for that. Black Pokemon Trainer. For those people who are watching, we got 8 viewers right now, guys. If you guys like what you see, please give us a like. If you guys like Gamerz Realm, all our links from YouTube to Twitter are in the description. I wanted to first start off real quick, just do my part really fast, and I just want to congratulate several people here, and I want to go into one level up for his Mario Maker 2 reaction video, hitting over 1K views. And I thought that was awesome. And
Yes.
I want to say congratulations on that. And he's right about to hit, getting close to 300 subs. I remember when you were just like 100, like not too long ago. So you're
Actually, I'm up to 307 now.
Oh, sweet, dude.
Shut
Congratulations.
up. What? Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing itself. It's like it's just really great. Black Ass Gamer, you're getting close. You're doing a 722, about to get a 1K. Then you got Cloudy at 200. I think did you get 200? You're over 200 now, right, Cloudy?
Yeah, 204. 204. Thank
That's
God.
good. That's good. Retro getting to 500, and then
Yeah.
what I was noticing with myself, I'm at what is it 1,000 once, let's say like 1K whatever. But I've noticed that QA has been doing this for only 10 months, and he's almost at 2,000. I want to know, what are you doing on QA? Give us a little feedback of how you're doing to keep your channel running. In a little bit of time, and you just hitting that number.
Oh, Jesus. Get giveaways, lots of giveaways. No.
Tell us your
Oh,
dark
God.
secret. We want to know your secret.
Note to self.
I haven't done a giveaway yet.
You don't have to
Okay,
say,
well,
you know.
that's a good question. I mean, for me, I think, well, I mean, I've got a lot to go. I mean, to me, it's just really a hobby. Really, if you ever look at like my first video, it wasn't even like anything video game related. It was actually a response to, I was watching an ETA Prime video, and people in the comments were asking him questions about how do you power an Atomic Pi. You guys have heard of like a Raspberry Pi?
Yeah.
Right. So an Atomic Pi is kind of like a beefier, more powerful version of a Raspberry Pi, if you will. And people were asking questions to him, and he was not answering anyone about how do you power this thing, because it doesn't actually come with a power supply. And I'm like, oh, I know how to do that. And I'm like, I know how to do this. I'm like, you know what? I kept searching YouTube to see if there were videos on it already, and there wasn't anything on it. So I'm like, you know, I'm going to put up a video on it. So it's like only like a 2-minute, quick, unedited, really cheesy, cringy video. But I guess, you know, people were like, I started getting attention for it. So, I mean, then I'm like, okay, well, let me try a couple, you know, just throw more like videos out there just to answer questions for other people that people were asking like on ETA Prime. So basically I was stealing like ETA Prime's people because they were asking him questions he wasn't answering, because he's too big to be like answering everybody. He's like, I think like 500,000 subscribers. He doesn't have time to answer everybody. I was like, oh, okay. So that was all I really did. But I think, I don't know, for me, you know, my earlier videos, they weren't really like edited, or they didn't have like anything going on for them. But I started to notice certain things that people were looking at, like in the retro game community, like for years, that weren't able to, like, for example, I think one of my most popular videos was the Killer Instinct one, how to play Killer Instinct Arcade on our Atomic Pi. It's like, I think it's got like 5,000 views. But that one, there's not a lot of videos on it on YouTube on how to like play it on Retro Pi. You can't play it on a Raspberry Pi, but on actual Retro Pi using other computers, you can. So I just put that together. I didn't expect anything of it at all. You know, I just wanted to kind of help people out, because I'm like, if I know how to do it, you know, maybe I can help someone else too, and just kind of create like a judgment-free zone. Because I feel like in the gaming community too, like, I don't want to say the gaming community, but like the modding community, there's kind of like what do I say? There's like a stigma where like, oh, if you don't know how to do this, then you shouldn't be doing it, or you're not smart enough. So I kind of wanted to start like, for me, like, I'm kind of a nerd, but I'm also like the type where like I understand, like, if you don't understand something, I'll try to explain it to you. I'm not going to judge you for it. So I try to build myself around that. And that was kind of like, it started helping me a little bit. But to be honest with you, I have no idea what, I mean, for me, I think what's been helping, like, I started a Twitter page, for example. That's helped a lot. That helped probably more than anything. Opening up a Twitter page, and then putting like little snippets, like 30-second or 20-second snippets of like my video, previewing it. That has helped me a lot. I've gotten a lot of viewers that way. But not just like putting like preview snippets of what I'm talking about, but like throughout Twitter, there's like retweeting. There's like retweeting accounts where like if you tag them on it, they'll retweet it for you, and it helps get, you know, it helps if they retweet it for you and say they have like 5,000 or 10,000 followers, you know, it helps other people see it too. So that kind of helped. I think that's kind of like one of the main things I think that's helping me. And then I think what I've been doing lately is just working more on my thumbnails. You know, and I'll message you guys the apps that I've been using, but like the thumbnails, just try to keep them a little bit more simple, you know, those kinds of things. And I've been following a lot of people that I look up to, like, you know, obviously Cool Toy. What kind of stuff is he doing? You know, what's he trending on? ETA Prime is a big influence of me. So, you know, things like that, you know, if those kinds of things, I guess. But I think what's kind of weird about my videos is a lot of them are like tutorials, like how-tos. So I think if you watch it once and you're interested in it, you're probably going to want to have to go back and watch it again to kind of like actually do the project. Like the video I'm dropping next Tuesday is how to, you know, emulate Sega Saturn on an old laptop, for example. You know, if you're interested in that, you know, you can go in and look at it and be like, okay, let me go get my laptop and I'll go, you know, look at the video again. That counts as another view. So it's kind of helps, I think, tutorials. I don't really get a lot of hits on a lot of views on like my other non-tutorial videos, unfortunately. But those I think help. And then the weird thing is timing. Like the video that I got the most views on, which is probably the cringiest video. It wasn't a video I intended for it to actually do anything. I was a part of the Hack Cheese Sega Genesis mini Discord community, and I was like helping and working with some of the devs out there. I don't know if you guys have heard of Patent Plays. Patent Plays. He's like one of my favorite YouTubers. He's like really big in like the mini console modding scene. So, you know, I was speaking to them and I'm like, oh, this is cool for an update. And I didn't see any updates on YouTube about like what's going on in the hack cheese scene on how to hack a Sega Genesis Mini. So I just put up a video for a quick 5-minute video. And next thing you know, it just started getting hits and hits and hits. And now it's like at 14,000 views, but it's kind of unfortunate because I wasn't really prepared for that. And it was such a cringy video. It's really bad.
We got to
it's
see
like kind of embarrassing. It's embarrassing, but I just wanted to do like a cheesy like update video. This is what's going on. And I think that kind of helped get me some traction too. You know, people were like asking questions. And then I even set up like an email address. I started putting in some of my emails, some of my videos. So if people had questions about what I'm working on, or if they needed additional help, they could email me. So, I mean, that's helped. I'm still way far from like ever being able to be monetized or anything like that. But I mean, I'm kind of just doing it for fun, you know, for a hobby. Like, I don't really think I'll ever really get monetized. I think it's like 4,000 watch hours, but you have to do it within like a 365-day span. And I'm nowhere near that. But I mean,
you made a lot of good points though on how to really start and grow a channel. Like, you have to know your audience, number one, and you do know your audience, and you do something, you provide a service for somebody that maybe is unique to your channel that no one else really does, or it's kind of a niche thing, which you do how-tos on like how to emulate stuff. I have no idea how the heck to do that, so I'd be interested in watching something like that myself. And you also, what was the other thing you said about what was the other point that you made? I can't remember.
About the Twitter page, or?
Oh yeah. Yeah, just kind of, you know, getting your name out there with other channels and everything else, and just be engaged with your viewers. That's very important. And I think that's why you grew in such a small amount of time, and that's pretty cool for you, man.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, a lot of it is, you know, taking a little bit here, a little bit there. I've been kind of critical, I'll be honest, openly critical about the really bigger channels, because I always feel like they get too big to the point where it just kind of like sometimes it kind of gets to their head. That's not everybody, but like I feel like the biggest channels, like the biggest channels that are quickest to grow on YouTube, unfortunately with the algorithm, it's always two channels. It's always the channel that has like the clickbait. And so it's like my biggest hate clickbait videos. But like if you look at it, like Mr. Beast, who has like a bajillion subscribers, all his videos are clickbait. PewDiePie is the same thing, clickbait. And then you have, ironically, the other side of YouTube where they kind of, I noticed there's a lot of channels that get a lot of subscribers on how to grow your channel. which is kind of like weird because they're growing their channel by getting people to show them how to grow their channel, but it's literally the same nonsense they regurgitate. So like I always make fun of it. Like they also do clickbait titles. Everybody's always like super shocked in their thumbnails. They're like, oh my God, like, you know, like those kinds of things. And then they're like, oh, how to get 1,000 subscribers in a week. And that's not realistic.
I mean,
It's just
I get it because sometimes I kind of do that with my thumbnails a little bit, but I'm not like put my face like this, like, you know, like it's not obvious. It's not the biggest thing on my thumbnail, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the biggest offender is definitely like the Mr. Beast, the PewDiePie. I mean, no hate if that's their thing. Obviously, it's working for them. But like, for example, like I think there's also like people who, and I said this to Mr. Switch yesterday. There's also actors. You know, people understand that YouTube is acting, not like weird acting, but like how we're doing. But like, there's people who are actually hired. Like, for example, there's a girl. She's a big gamer, and she's big in the YouTube industry like now for gaming. Her name is Destiny FOMO.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Oh my God.
That's right. And so I'm not going to get all controversial here, but like, this is just my opinion. But Destiny FOMO, she's an actress. She's a paid actress because you'll see her advertisements on YouTube, like and it pushes her videos out there for people to see. And, you know, guys will see it. And obviously she's flaunting herself, so to speak. Yeah. And, you know, that's going to sell. But she probably doesn't know the first thing about like retro gaming, or she probably never grew up like the way we did, like hardcore gaming, or, worked the YouTube ladder like we did. You know what I mean? You know?
And unfortunately, a lot of these, you know, good-looking girls have an advantage over us guys.
E-girls, yeah.
You know, they're good to look at, and some guys like that. So
on Twitch, they get a lot of followers. On Twitch, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, especially when they flaunt their goods, you know.
Rocky folks said it best. They got no respect.
Yeah, for sure. It's bad. That's why I kind of like. There's always a place in my heart for like our community, because we're more genuine, we're real, we do it because we love the game.
Yeah,
you know,
because we enjoy for me, if you met me in real life, like this is my true self. Like how I am on my videos is how I really am. I'm awkward. Yeah. I fumble over my words, and you know, I kind of crack a joke every now and then. You know, that's what I do.
You gotta be yourself, man. The greatest version of yourself.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was saying in the chat, the young Calves is in there in the chat saying, you got to play the game to succeed, you know. So that's what his statement is. Liliana's like, what good looking girls.
Yeah.
So hey, real quick, guys, let's just try to, thank you for that, QA Ninja.
Oh, no problem.
I just want to go straight into, I think the first major segment is with Cloudymind, and he had two of them. You had two of them, so you want to go ahead and start with that?
Yeah, I got some news here. Just small stuff. Let's see. For example, you guys like your Joy-Cons, right?
Yeah, of course.
You guys collect Joy-Cons like color-wise and stuff.
I can't afford that.
I got two limited edition Joy-Cons. I got the Animal Crossing Joy-Cons, and I got the Super Mario Odyssey Joy-Cons, which are not limited edition anymore. They're out there selling them on the market.
You're killing me.
Okay, good thing you got it, because as of right now, they're not releasing several colors of the Joy-Cons. They're not releasing the pair of gray ones, the yellow pair, and the red pair. They're not making them anymore. They're off the production line. You can still get them at the Japanese Nintendo website, but one by one, you can't get them in pairs no more.
Yeah, hey guys, I already have all those.
You're lucky. You're good then. You're Gucci.
Oh no, I'm broke.
It's that time of the year.
If you guys are, if some of you guys play any PC games, the PC gaming show, it will be returning on June 6th, on Saturday. It's you know, unfortunately because of E3 and E3 Expo, they canceled the PC gaming show. Still remaining. It's still gonna do it, man. Still gonna show the latest and greatest in PC gaming. Also, XCOM. You guys played a game called XCOM on PC?
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
All right. Well, XCOM 2 is free this week on PC and Xbox. Yes, it's free. Gratis. It's free.
So if we have a Microsoft account, we can go download it?
Possibly. Hosting, yeah, free trial on Steam and Xbox One. If you like to play on your sofa, it says it's
Nice.
available between now until April 30th.
Boom.
Sweet. Sweet.
I never played that series. Like, that's a strategy game, right? Like a Fire Emblem, like the turn-based kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay, I might have to check that out.
And also, gaming sales are up. Yeah, gaming sales are up, but production is down, obviously, because of the virus. Like shooter game like Doom Eternal was released mid-March, and it broke sales. It was the highest of its series. And of course, you know, Animal Crossing broke sales, and it's become a cultural phenomenon.
There's no shocker there.
It's a very addicting game. Very addicting game. But yeah, unfortunately, because of the virus, studios like Amazon is delaying one of their games, New World, from the spring to August. You guys know PlayStation also, delaying some of their games also. Left 4 Dead 2. Ubisoft is also delaying some games. Far Cry, Assassin's Creed. They had not released 17,000 employees at 55 studios who could be removed from the project to different countries. It's tough, man, because when it's a company like that, you have testers, you know, and now the testers can't be physically there, and there's potential chances of leaks and stuff like that. So I feel bad for the collectors because digital is winning right now.
Oh, big time. My Switch is loaded with digital games.
Yeah.
The hardest part is like this year seemed like it was going to be a good year, but now because of all this, I think we're going to have a very bleak year. Maybe we'll get stuff near November. I don't know if they're even releasing the consoles anymore at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's unfortunate though.
Yeah.
I was wondering too, about the consoles, if they're gonna release them.
I mean, I think they're still targeting 2020 release, but who knows at this point, you know?
Yeah. And for last and not least is Ninjala. Ninjala is
oh yeah.
It's a mix between I would say Splatoon and
Fortnite.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
gonna be. They even have the same battle pass as Fortnite, so that's what I compared it to.
So it's gonna be free to play. A testing beta on April 28th to the 29th, 3 different time slots. Make sure you guys check that out, man. It's gonna be a fun game. Looks
I already
like
have it downloaded. I'm ready to go.
Me too. Yeah. Me too. And that's it.
I'll have to give it a try and see how I feel.
It's gonna be dope. I think
is that what you got? Is that good, Cloudy, or you got a?
I'm Gucci.
You Gucci.
Gucci.
Hey, make sure. Hold on, let me get to it. Give me 1 second. Retro wants to talk about his topic. That's probably going to be the one that we're going to be talking about the most tonight. Want to go ahead, Retro?
You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. So one thing that I've always been big on, and Mr. Switch has known me before I got into playing Nintendo Switch, is retro games. And so I thought, oh, this is cool. You know, that's not retro to me. That's just games that have already come out. It's my generation. So I don't consider it retro. I consider it's just a game. And I was telling people who work on my gamer, they're like, no, you're not. That's old school. And I'm like, oh, so I'm old school. Okay, it's cool. I'm in my 30s. No big deal. And so I was thinking, wait a sec. I started watching like these videos, and it was the same year I had a medical seizure, and I was off work for like a week. And I was like, I just had this like epiphany, and I was like, I told my wife, I really think I should start a YouTube channel. Like I really just about retro gaming. Like I know there's a lot, but I just feel like there's something else I can deliver. So what happened was I started digging into it. And the biggest things that are out there on the scene, and one thing I forgot to pull out, is they have like amazing stuff like Atari. I mean, you got stuff like the Retron 77 made by Hyperkin. And this thing, man, can play your cards. I mean, you can't play Atari in HD by any means, but it's so cool because you can load your ROM files in the back of that thing, and you can straight play like mods and homebrews and stuff like that on there. So it's just really awesome. Like, I'll give you guys a little quick sneak peek on what it looks like. And it just straight looks like an Atari. I mean, boom. Simple.
Wow.
That thing is tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny. And then you look in the back, Then it has your SD card slots and your power. And the power is powered by micro SD. They give you one controller, which is cool. I mean, but it kind of works like the Atari in a way. You can plug in a Sega controller, and it kind of works like if you plug in a Sega controller to an Atari, it kind of works too. That's a little hack that I kind of figured out. It's pretty neat. But then, like, you got all this other cool stuff throughout the last 2 or 3 years. I've been like, dude, they got these, like, little flash cards right here, 150 in one.
Nice.
Like, when you were first getting into GBA, did you ever think you could play 150 of these little games right here? And I don't even have my EverDrive for my thing. You could put an unlimited amount of games for that. The only downfall to that is, though, you can't play games that are 32 megabytes or higher. Only because, not that it'll take up the space, but it requires more saving memory. So you can play things under 32 megabytes. And then you got the Nintendo. You got stuff like this right here. 151 Nintendo games straight out the box. And you can plug that thing and play. Whether they're legal or not, I don't know. That's a gray area. I just bought it, so I didn't reproduce it. But, I mean, it's cool, though. I mean, the things you can do. I mean, think about it. I mean, Android, iOS, you got like the 8-bit dude controllers, and that takes retro gaming to a whole new field.
Great controller.
Oh yeah, it's tiny. I mean, I'll show you my hand, and then I'll show you the controller. It's not even that big.
Yeah, it's an awesome controller.
It's amazing that retro gaming has made such a big comeback. Companies like Hyperkin are taking the market. I mean, I'm a fan. Like, look at this, the Smart Boy. You can flat out put your phone, that sounded oaky, but I mean, whatever. You can flat out put your phone, my Note 8 fits right inside that phone, and it's like retro feel. You can play the Game Boy. I actually had a video, and like QA Ninja said, I feel like it's one of my cringier videos, but it got a lot of views because I figured out how to play the GBA on there also. Because it was originally made for the GBA, but they have the 2 shoulder buttons, but they don't have the slot in the back for it. They just have it for the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color. But it's pretty cool either way. But retro gaming's made such a big comeback lately that, like, if you get games, Castlemania Games, do you guys know who they are?
Oh, yeah.
Castlemania Games, they're a new company because retro gaming came along, and they're developing their own games. You got this beast right here. I'll display it both ways. The Retron 5.
Yeah, that's nice. That's
right
nice.
there. You can play your everything. Like, you can play your, Famicom, Super Famicom, all in the same slot. You play your NES, SNES.
How much?
This right here,
What's up,
it all depends on what site you go to. You can get this for $80 some places, but I will say this. Right now, stuff is like way up. Like, video game stuff is up. I bought the Retro Duo Portable for $70 back when it first came out. It's a handheld game. Excuse me. It's a handheld game that you can put your Super Nintendo games in. It's in my house. I didn't bring that out. But you can put your Super Nintendo games, and if you have the Genesis adapter, you can put your Genesis games in there and your NES with the adapter. Right now, instead of going for 60 to 70, it's going for 109 on one side and almost 200 on another. So, I mean, these games don't be at the same price, but when it comes back to normal, I mean, look at it. You have your SD card in the back. You also have USB. That right there, you can actually, it dumps your games on there. I mean, look at all the connections you have for your Sega and stuff. And I don't have a picture of it right now, but they also released recently, and Hyperkin was known. This little device actually started out as a joke for April Fools. And it got, the Hyperkin Smart Boy, it got so hot. I think it was like 3 years ago. It got so hot and so many views. Hyperkin actually worked on making a model. They made a model for micro USB, but then when USB-C got real popular, they slipped out another one. And it just got so hot. Now they're running thing with, except for this year because of the COVID-19, they produce a new product every year. This year was supposed to be, I think it came out earlier, but I don't think it's massively produced yet. It's in, you can plug in your HDMI in the back, and it's for your Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. And it's kind of like the Hyperkin right here, how you can plug it in into the front, but it's just its own pod. It's front loading. So, I mean, to me, even kids that I know in high school, like I work at a high school in the cafeteria, and those kids are like, it's popping in the high schools. They're playing, they call it retro games, and it's really, really super popular. So in my opinion, I'm thinking retro games have made such a huge comeback that it's following the new generations in. And so it's like stuff that we considered the old is coming into the new. So retro gaming right now, and at E3 too, that's one of their big things too. Retro gaming is in. So
I think why it's making a comeback. First of all, it's new for the new generation, but I think a lot of the indie developers are kind of developing those kind of retro games. So that's why everyone's, that's why they're making a comeback. Which is
and
cool.
A lot of people right now are producing homebrews, and it's really cool because they share their files. Which, if you're making a homebrew and it's a ROM file, that's not illegal to share because it's actually somebody put it out there. They made their own game from scratch, and it's legit to see that people are actually still have a passion for Nintendo, Sega, Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I feel like it's made such a huge comeback, and it's very popular nowadays.
I love that you have all this stuff, and you're like, I don't know if it's legal, but I have it. And I do it.
Bought it, Pete.
You're in trouble now. You are.
I know. Hey, I just say this. I just bought it. I didn't manufacture it. Hey, out of my hands at that point.
We're going to
Hey, my hands are washed. But yeah,
that was actually the first video I saw for you, Retro, when you did such an awesome collab with Cool Toy, and that's the first video I saw of yours, and I was like, oh my god, this is so awesome! Like the topic that you guys went over, regarding everything about like how retro game is making a comeback, and I just thought that was such a cool concept. It makes so much sense, and it's kind of like it kind of shows you like all the games that we grew up really do stand the test of time. So I think that's pretty neat. I never thought of, granted, it's kind of weird to think that those games are considered retro or vintage now.
Yeah.
Like, are we getting that old?
Yeah, it's like you hit your 30s, everything's considered vintage and
Wait. Does that mean that we're retro? We're vintage? Is that what you're saying?
We're getting there.
We're vintage.
Like, I don't drink, but it's like a good wine. We're going vintage. But what's funny though? I thought that when you collect retro games, you're considered a retro game collector. But when you collect vinyl records, it's like a thing. It's like pretty cool. So these are my vinyl records right here. Like it's all about the comeback, and with companies still keeping it fresh, like 8-Bit Do, Retrobit, Hyperkin, and Castlemania Games, they're making a big plug-in, and it's like that collab I did with Cool Toy. He talked about arcades, and arcades right now, are a hit. They seem a little pricey, but when you think about it, who's doing that right now? Arcade One Up. They're making a big comeback in the retro gaming scene because they have your bar tabletops and they have the actual arcade machines, and that's one thing that's making a big comeback too. Is that the arcade scene is coming back, so people are actually wanting a little bit of that in their house.
I'm getting one of those cabinets, and I'm gonna call one of you guys to show me how to mod one.
I've actually I've actually had I've gotten requests through email. I've had to mod. This is behind the scenes that people don't get to see on video because technically illegal per se. I didn't just say that, but I've gotten I've actually modded pies and atomic pies for people, and then they just PayPal me the money. So those, I have actually somebody who just sent something over from Arizona, I think last month, and I was able to do his atomic pie up with Killer Instinct Arcade and all that nonsense, and put retro pie on there. Technically you're not really supposed to do that because you're supposed to sell media or ROMs, but there's a gray area for it. But I think
there's always that gray area.
Yeah, to piggyback off of retro, I think it's so important because here's the thing. You want physical media. I'm a big fan of physical media because I grew up in that era. But at the same time, emulation is extremely important because without it, literally, these cartridges are going to start to stop working. CDs are not going to work as well, or just going to get scratches. Even the CD, the lens in your PlayStation or PlayStation 2 or Xbox eventually is going to go. So without emulation, that kind of to preserve it, so to speak, you know, those memories can, I hate to say it, but they would die, you know. So with, I feel like gaming companies, I know that they want to protect their IPs, and so having you know, the Nintendo open up their store where you can buy these retro games through the Switch or through the, you know, the Wii, for the Wii shop. Those things are extremely important. But, you know, for, you know, places that, you know, say for example, if you wanted to play a certain game that's obscure and it's only available in Japan, you know, you wouldn't really be able to do that unless you know, spent like $1 million, you know, to buy a game. Like, for example, there's on Sega Saturn, Panzer Dragoon Saga is one of the most expensive rare games for the Sega Saturn. But to really play it and make it, you know, to be able to, you know, have that experience, you could emulate it. You know, it's not the same as putting a physical CD, but, you know, those are our memories that are being preserved. So I think it's extremely important. I don't know if you guys heard about the controversy with Nintendo on that, though, about a year and a half ago.
About what?
Oh, this is a good conversation.
Oh, I think I know where you're going to.
For all my Nintendo people. So do you guys ever heard of Emu Paradise?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So
and they do not have any ROMs right now, and it's really upsetting. Yeah,
and that was my main go-to, you know, especially me, you know, that was my main reliable resource. Well, because Nintendo put that big lawsuit, I think it was on Cool ROMs, or was a different ROMs Mania
cool
or some
ROMs,
different
yeah.
site. It was Cool ROMs.
Yeah.
You know, it was completely understandable. I understand it completely. You got to protect your resources and everything. But the problem why that's kind of scary too is because it set the precedence for like what they did, and it forced MU Paradise to close down. So like me, like I was obviously scrambling, like, oh my God, like where am I gonna get my ROMs from? You know, just to kind of have them. I mean, again, you know, in YouTube, just so you guys know, you're not allowed to like put like links to the ROMs.
Yeah.
Things like that. Even though I think on my RG350 video, I think I did put a link to like where I got my main ROM set, but whatever. They're not looking at that. But I just think it's important because it's like, you know, VHS cassettes, or those are gonna not work eventually. So you're gonna wish you were able to stream those old movies on some, you're watching Netflix, or if you jailbroke your Fire Stick, for example, you're gonna wish you had it on Kodi to watch and get those memories. And you know, for the newer generation, like, or, you know, our kids who are gonna want to play Super Mario, and you know, I think that's kind of important. You know, I'm all for emulation for that reason.
Yeah, my kids, that's one of the main ways we play some of the games, because like even my favorite game, Super Mario World, it was like $109 last time I checked. And me, honestly, I will not pay $109 for that game. That was expensive. That was out of the box.
Gee whiz.
So, yeah, I have it on my Wii, and I'm okay with that, like, or emulating it on my phone. I don't have a problem with it because things are going to go digital, and digital, like you said, is preservation. And I've had stuff that I've had since I was in my 20s, ROM set since I was in my 20s on discs, transferred from discs to hard drives. But I kept the discs because I want to hold on to that digital media, because these right here, these are awesome, but they don't last forever. Like I have games that I've had since I was like a wee little dude, like when I was 10 years old, but they still work, but you don't know how long.
As long as in the future they give us an option of both digital and physical, I'm okay with it. I just don't want them to go all digital in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
I 100% agree.
Important. Retro is important, and retro is still now. Like retro is now.
Retro is now. That's good. I like that.
That's a good slogan. Retro's now.
I will say this.
Guys, copyright it. Do what you got to do. Retro's now. It's our new slogan.
that's why I'm glad people like limited runs. They're making these digital games physical. You know.
Oh yeah, limited run games. Yeah.
Yes.
I will say this about some retro games. And I'm gonna put Square Enix on the spot right now. I have to say they did a really good job at preserving some of their games, or re-releasing some of their games. You know, they released almost every single Final Fantasy that they ever came out. They might have made some modifications to it, but they re-released every Final Fantasy that came out. They kept Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. They kept that the same for the most part. They re-released all of their Kingdom Hearts. You know, Nintendo they did it, but they didn't do it to the degree that Square Enix did, and they did it on multiple consoles and whatnot. And multiple generations, you know, like for example, let's say Zelda, the Ocarina of Time, not a Switch release yet. And like, let's say you want to go back even further to play some other games like Donkey Kong. I haven't seen that emulated on the Switch at all yet either. So, I mean, I think Square Enix did a really good job, and it would be nice to see other companies follow suit.
That's my biggest thing about Nintendo is that they would make so much money if they would just emulate all their games onto the Switch.
Oh yeah,
like, everyone wants it, so why don't?
That'd be nice.
You know what I mean?
And Square Enix
I don't
did a
understand.
good job. Square Enix did a good job with the Romancing Saga. That was out a long time ago for Super Nintendo, and they released a version for the PC and for the I don't know if it's on iOS, but I know it's on Android. And the way they redid it is just so amazing. Square Enix just is incredible. That's been my favorite company since Final Fantasy VII. And I know they've been out since before then, but that's when I first discovered them for the PS1. It's awesome.
And they're so smart about it too.
Oh yeah, they're very innovative. I feel that if, like you said, I love Nintendo, but I feel like if they followed suit with Square Enix in the innovative area, they would blow up even bigger than what they are now.
Hands down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because that Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, that thing sold, and that looked beautiful on the 3DS. So
Man,
I
I
can
bought it.
imagine what it looks like on the Switch.
I will say this: I still prefer the original.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Can't be
True.
Oh, would you talk about Final Fantasy VII?
The remake or the original?
Yes, I was just playing that. I was posting a whole lot of videos because that's one of the games I went back to with this whole COVID thing happening when we're at home. I've been going back to a whole lot of retro gaming. I'm doing my new stuff on the side when I'm not streaming. I'm just enjoying the time with Final Fantasy VII. I think it's gonna give you the best feeling, the best feel of the entire thing. I'm sure Part 7, the remake, is awesome too, but I'll tell you right now, retro gaming is definitely on top right now.
Oh yeah.
I want to clarify something for you guys with the whole Final Fantasy VII remake thing. Two completely different games. Literally, they're connected. Two completely different games. So, don't go into, like, if you guys ever decide to go into the remake realm, don't go into Final Fantasy VII thinking that you're gonna get the exact, like, literally the exact same story as the original Final Fantasy VII. No, they did a lot of different things that is causing a lot of controversy right now. I personally enjoyed all the changes. Yeah. But I personally enjoyed all the changes that they did. And if you like Final Fantasy VII, the original, I think you'll like the story that it presents for the most part. You just have to get over the fact that, you know, whenever somebody like remakes something, it's going to be different. You know, there's a difference between a remake and a remaster.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like it though. I like the idea that they're taking older games where the concepts of the storyline and either remastering or remaking. I'm noticing that trend now, even with like the Resident Evil series, you know, remaking Resident Evil 2 and 3 recently. I'm all for it. I really am. I think, you know, for the younger generation that didn't get to enjoy, like, you know, the classics in the 90s or even late 80s, I think it's a great idea to introduce it to them. You know, I one thing I really appreciate about Nintendo is they're always so good at sticking true to their original formula because they know it works. Like, when you get a new Nintendo console, you can always expect a main Mario game. You can always expect a Smash Brothers game. You can always expect a Mario Kart game of some sort. They're smart because they know it works, and then they just update the graphics and the gameplay, you know, kind of like a remake or a remaster of sorts. And I think it's brilliant. It's a brilliant idea.
I personally love those. However, one that I'm not particularly excited about is the Resident Evil 4. I don't want them messing with that game. That's one of my favorite games of all time.
I agree 100%.
I feel like if you're going to remake Resident Evil 4, we're not there yet. Like, give it like another 10 to 20 years.
It's just fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
the Wii
that
version
game
was
was
like the
literally
best
perfect when it came out.
Oh, absolutely. It's a reason why it came out on the GameCube.
Exclusively.
I mean, let's be real. Like, what console did it not come out on though? Like before, like that generation. Like
I
it
know,
came
it's
on the
on-
GameCube, PS2,
on phones now,
literally
right?
everything.
Yeah, I have it on my PS. I have it on my PS2. It's a really great game because it's not zombies on that one. I don't know what it is, like just weird villagers, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And they talk
they're still
trash.
infected viruses.
I can't really. I play Resident Evil games, but they still give me the heebie-jeebies. Even part one, the mansion, as cheesy as it is, and the voice acting is super cheesy. Like I remember, like it's just that game is just even to this day the rooms, the mansion when the door opens and you don't see what's behind it. It still gives me the heebie-jeebies
And
sometimes. It's
Ninja, I have a challenge for you. I want you to play
God.
Resident Evil. I want you to hold on. I want you to play Resident Evil at
Hey,
midnight
guys,
with
real
all the
quick.
lights off.
Hey
oh
guys, hold
no,
on, guys.
I still can't do
stop you
that.
guys
I
for a second.
can't.
Retro, you gotta split, my man.
Yeah, my dinner's knocking at the door. My friends are delivering today. So
I want to
Enjoy.
appreciate you for stopping by, man.
I will
All right, Retro.
really hit it
All right,
next
take care,
Enjoy
Retro.
your food, bro.
Saturday with
See ya.
Enjoy your food, man.
So I enjoyed being with you guys. You guys have a great evening. I'll be listening on YouTube though for the next 30 minutes. So I'll be with you guys there.
All
All
right,
right,
For
man. See ya.
What's up, guys?
sure.
but yeah, Resident Evil 1. Me personally, I couldn't get into it because of the movement. You know how it's. I don't know. It was
the tank.
I just-
They're called tank controls. Like you move
yes,
like a
I was
tank.
like,
That's annoying.
I was like, you know what? Bump this, man. I can't deal with it.
Not
But-
with the lights off though. Sorry, one up.
No,
I can't.
but Silent Hill 1 and 2 were
Can't do
those
that.
two
Not with the lights
games.
off.
Oh my god, bro! The
Oh,
jump
yeah,
scares in
yeah,
those
those
games
are
were
good.
awesome.
Silent Hill, yeah. Silent Hill's awesome
It's
too.
even better, like if you're able to get yourself to do a jump scare when you're live. I think I have
man.
two of them so far.
That's great.
I did that when Resident Evil 7 first came out. I since deleted the videos because they were just really, really terrible. But I did it in real time, me playing that game. And like those games, like when you're first playing them, I jump and like, stupid little things get me. And yeah, I thought it
Sounds
was
about
funny,
right. I can't play
I should've
those
kept
games.
but-
Gets my blood pressure going up.
That's like Outlast. When Outlast came on the Switch, I was playing the Whistleblower, which is the prequel. I played maybe like an hour of it. And I was like, dude, I'm getting chased by some guy in the chainsaw. I can't hit him. All I have is a camcorder. I can't.
I feel like I really want to remake. I mean, I wish they would put it on a PlayStation. I know we talked about this last week, but Left 4 Dead, I loved that. I never had, my buddy had an Xbox, 360 one and all, but like I always loved the Left 4 Dead series. I never thought it was super scary because like, you could play co-op and you're just like blasting a bunch of zombies with an automatic. But like I just thought it was such an awesome like zombie game. Like Left 4 Dead is like probably one of my favorite series off of Xbox. But I wish they would remake it. Like I would love to have it on the PlayStation, that's for sure. The game that I definitely missed out on as a Sony PlayStation person. But they should remake that. I think that'd be super fun.
Any other major remakes you think people should make?
Oh, I got one. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
For the Tomb Raider series, it's probably I think it's the game that gets the most flack on YouTube and just in the gaming community about it. The Tomb Raider series, Angel of Darkness for the PS2. Anybody remember that game?
I do
I
not.
heard.
Okay,
Yeah,
probably a good thing. Yeah, it's look it up when you guys get a chance. It's chock full of bugs and glitches in the final release. It was the last game that Tomb Raider released. That the original company, I think wasn't Square Enix. It was I forget who it was. But they released, when they did the PlayStation series, they also released one game for the PS2, and it was such a bust that they got fired. And Crystal Dynamics, the one that took over for the current Tomb Raider series for the PlayStation, they took over and they revamped the whole Tomb Raider series. But I always liked Tomb Raider series, and I thought that game had a lot of potential. Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness, but people are crying for it to get a remake, and nobody, like the gaming, companies are not looking into it at all. Totally deserves a remake because it had a lot of potential. It's like
you never know.
Yeah, Angel of Darkness. You guys gotta check that one. It's a really good game. It's just kind of a lot of bugs in it.
Yeah, I think it was Core Design did the development and
Core Design.
Eidos Interactive.
Yes. They rushed the series because they were on a tight deadline. You know, it was the first time working with the PS2, and then they pushed the game back like 2 years, and it was glitchy. The controls were bad. I liked the game. It wasn't really like the other Tomb Raiders because she wasn't like raiding as many tombs. She was rolling around like Paris and all that stuff. But the storyline I think was one of the coolest, and the soundtrack is like amazing. It's really one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard out of any video game. But the game had the potential alone. I feel like needed a redo. Maybe Donkey Kong Country series. I know there's been newer Donkey Kong Country games since Super Nintendo, but the actual Donkey Kong franchise that came out for the Super Nintendo could use a remake.
Yeah,
I would like to see a Donkey Kong and a Kirby 3D game. You know, instead of the side scroll, just a 3D game. I think that would be dope.
That'd be awesome.
Like Donkey Kong 64, maybe?
No. I'm talking about how Mario, like Mario 64, but Donkey Kong 64 like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them to remake the original Donkey Kong series for the Super Nintendo. Maybe re-release or remaster. But like usually, like when you put like remake to it, they do something to like they do too much of the game sometimes, and I feel like that would be one of the things that happen with the if they were to remake the Donkey Kong series. I'm gonna go back to it here. Go back to it again. Resident Evil 3. They did too many things to it to where it fell completely off from the original.
I heard they were remaking Metroid, the second one. I think did it come out on the NES? On the NES, I've heard. I don't know if that's true. Part 2 of Metroid.
Part 2 Metroid came out on Game Boy.
Right. They said they were gonna supposedly remake that. I don't know if I was
They
wrong.
They should have had the one that came on the 3DS come on the Switch.
Yeah.
But you guys heard about that trilogy, right? That there's rumors that it's they're making that HD trilogy.
Oh right. They didn't do that before. I know I want that on the Nintendo Switch. That's what I think they're missing. Because as much as I've been wanting Metroid Prime 4 so badly, and they're stalling on it because they had another team on it, then the team got fired or something, and they got a much better team on it. And I hope that at least by June, when they have how do you call it? When they have the E3, not really E3, since they're not having them more, let's say what do you call it? Nintendo Direct will give us something good in June regarding at least something going on with Metroid Prime 4. But in the meantime, as we wait, give us Metroid, the trilogy, give us something to hold us back, a little something, not exactly retro-ish, but it's still, to me, it's kind of feels like it's a retro feel to me that I played that years ago. And I think they're going to do it, but maybe they're getting held back with all what's happening with us right now. A lot of things are being pushed back.
I heard they had it finished and they were gonna release it, but because the 4 got just redone, that I think now they delayed it. But I mean, who knows if that's even true? But
okay.
Yeah, I want a Metroid game. I feel bad for Samus.
Awesome.
I feel bad
Metroid
for Samus.
would be awesome.
Everybody's getting games on different consoles, different generations, except Samus. She'll pop up on Smash Bros. That's pretty much it.
Next will be Mario Kart.
Leanna, shut up. So I got into text. Do not ever tell me it's not going to happen. Let's see. Well, now that retro's gone, I mean, let's keep on throwing it down with some more retro. I mean, or just anyone bring up a topic and just what's on your mind with gaming? You want to stay with retro-ish or just anything current?
I have a topic.
Go ahead, man.
We can't have a podcast without talking about something amazing that just happened a couple of days ago. Something with Mario Maker.
Let's talk about it.
All right. So what were your guys' impressions of the update? I thought it was a very large update, but I have a kind of theory on it. They said it's the last major update, but I don't think it's the final update. Because they said a final update coming soon, but did they mean this one or did they mean a future one? So I was looking
to cut it off that soon with Mario Maker.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much more they can add to that game. I mean, what they did with where you can like build your own world, that was great, but I feel like there's more content you can add with building your own levels. So I honestly, even though they say that it could possibly be the final one or if they're alluding to something else, I still think that Nintendo has something else in the works for that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games that they could literally do a small update or add one item every month, and that one thing could like completely change the game. But I think it's really odd that like the game's been out for almost a year now, and we've only had 3 like updates to the game. Like, I mean, this one was a major one, but like the last 2 weren't really that significant. They added the multiplayer, then they added the spike skies, and the link, and there was something else that I think the guys that throw those balls or whatever, like I don't know, maybe that is spike. Is that spike? Yeah, spike.
Yeah.
But like there is another slot that says extra game styles right next to Super Mario 3D World, and there's nothing there. So like, do they have something in mind for that, or did they just give up on it, or did they just give up on this game in general? I don't know.
I feel like, especially like with Nintendo, like there's a lot of games that do need a lot of new content. One of them being Mario Party. You guys can agree we got bored with that real quick after 2 months.
Yeah.
Mario Kart. We need more content with Mario Kart. All we got was a different costume for Link.
More tracks.
We need more tracks, and I think that, and I really hope this is not true, but I think that they might go the same way with Super Mario Maker, like where there's a lot of opportunity to expand, and they just don't take that opportunity to do so.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because that game, like I love playing that game, and I want more people to play that game, but I feel like a lot of people fell off after a couple of months just because it was nothing new. The first game was revolutionary because it was something different that they'd never done before. But like this one was kind of like more of the same with just like added stuff to it. There wasn't really anything big. Like this World Maker, that completely changed the game itself. Like that was the most exciting part of the entire update, in my opinion. I haven't played around with it too much, but man, like I feel like a lot of people might come back to the game because of that reason, and I'm excited to see what I can do with it. Like someone already posted on my Twitter that they made all the levels from Banjo-Kazooie and made a world out of it.
That's awesome.
That's crazy to me.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, and I want to play through that, and I'm probably going to make a video on it because I have a feeling it's going to be impressive. And so stay tuned to that, guys. That's coming pretty soon.
I think my biggest complaint with the update is with the World Maker is the fact that it's only in the style of the Super Nintendo Super Mario Bros. Game. I wish it would have came in more styles. That's it. Other than that, I really do love the update. I love some of the enemies that they added to it. I think they added all the added all the brothers' kids, right?
Yeah, the Koopa Lings.
Yes, that was cool. I like that.
And in the World Maker, that like, they did so much more than I ever expected. I expected like what they did with like endless mode, where they just had one line from one side all the way to the other side. You can just add like maybe 4 or 5 levels and that's it. But they went full out on it. Like you can design like where the trees are and like the mini games, the bonus games, and like you can put little icons on the levels. It's crazy.
Yeah, I actually do love everything they've given us, but of course I feel like I'm missing some extra things in there that I hope that it's gonna happen. I feel like if I'm feeling this way and a lot of people are feeling the same way too as well, they're just gonna surprise us later. Just maybe not maybe at E3 or with the Nintendo Direct in June, or at least one more later on. I think
there's one major thing that I want in Mario Maker that they have not added yet, and I thought they would, but I want the ice flower. Where's my ice flower, Nintendo?
How about doesn't Luigi's Mansion get
watching that? Go ahead.
Sorry about that. Yeah, doesn't Luigi's Mansion got another update coming up?
Mm-hmm.
Or has anyone been playing that lately? I don't think anyone's been on that game lately.
I never picked it up.
I think one up. You have it, right?
Yeah, I've been on it for a little bit recently, but yeah, it's a great, wonderful game. But I think people just kind of, right when that came out, it was cool. But so many other better games are just popping up. Everyone's not playing those games anymore. They're just hitting up everything that's currently happening right now. So, Final Fantasy VII, everyone. What's the other one? Of course, Animal Crossing, Mario Maker 2. So everyone's leaving behind that Luigi's Mansion. So supposedly in a day or two, something else is coming out with that, but.
I feel like nowadays because there's so many games that come out at like every month that we just don't we want to play everything, and we don't feel like we have time to really stick with one game. We kind of just, we beat it, we move on to the next one, or we just go like maybe, you know, a couple months or a couple weeks, and we, okay, all right, I'm done with that game, let's move on to the next because I have this and next exciting game coming out, you know. So I think that's the problem a lot of gamers are facing, and time, you know, time and money. We don't have any of those. So.
Well, I feel like with Luigi's Mansion, especially, a lot of people play Luigi's Mansion to play the story. You know, they played the first Luigi's Mansion. They played the one that came out for the handheld console, and when the third one came out, they came out with the story, and that's what people bought it for, so they can play the story. They weren't really thinking about, you know, what it could possibly be for multiplayer. Like on top of that, you know, we also have other good multiplayer games: Mario Kart, Splatoon 2, and Smash Bros. And like I feel like a lot of people are putting their times for that towards that.
Fortnite. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, going back to Mario Maker, I mean, watching the trailer, you know, I got excited for, you know, the Mario 2, and I was like, all right, cool, they finally got Mario 2. But yo, they hit it over the head with the whole world thing, because when I bought the first one, I was just a little bit disappointed that they didn't have that world one on the first one. But now that they got it right, you know, just like how Black said, they just have it on one version. I wish they had it on different versions also.
Yeah,
but I'm back on it again. It's awesome.
And what's kind of weird, like there's a castle at the end, but you don't even have to put a castle level in the castle. You can have anything you want, which I find kind of funny. So you can literally make it however you want, you know.
I think the castle was just there to be like, you know, if you beat this level, you go on to the next world. Bam.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
They didn't want to put in that much effort. It's like you have to put a castle level.
I thought the most exciting, like one of the coolest things they added was the Fanto with the cursed key or whatever. Because I don't know if you guys played around with that. I kind of did on stream that it follows you even through subworlds and warp pipes and doors. Like until you go through that key door, it follows you the entire game, and you cannot kill it with a superstar. Like it's the most it's the only enemy in the game that's unbeatable.
That guy is so underrated. It's who's Bowser? Who's Bowser?
Right? That's what I'm saying. He's more powerful than Bowser.
You got too quiet. Let's go.
Do we have any Splatoon players in here? I know Cloudy's a Splatoon player.
Oh, baby. Yeah, I'm a Splatoon player. Oh,
so tell me why they said that we had our last Splatfest last year, and now they're bringing one back in May.
I have the answer for that. They know everyone's on quarantine, and they want to bring people back to some of their older titles. That's why they're doing all these updates. And I think that's why they did it with Splatoon. Like they even have a demo out for it now too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, but I mean, hey, more power to them. I'll do another Splatfest.
But why ketchup and mayonnaise again? I mean, come on, it could have been something else.
I thought that was new.
Flops. I mean, something, you know.
No, it was the very first Splatfest they did for Splatoon 2, and ketchup won, by the way. So I'm teaching ketchup again. So
okay.
Yeah, ketchup all the way. I mean,
I personally like them both together. I like the ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together personally.
There you go.
No, whenever I get my hamburger, like the one I just had before I got here, no mayo, extra ketchup, put some more onions on it, and don't forget the cheese and the extra patty.
You guys are making me hungry again.
Think about Splatoon. I love playing Splatoon with my son. You know, we play and stuff. It's just the story is so, I don't know.
Come on, Cloudy. Do you really play for the story? Come on.
No, I do play a story. You never played the story? I played the story. It's just,
yeah, I did an entire 100% walkthrough on my channel. That was the first walkthrough I ever did. Okay. I do always do the story first, even if it's like a multiplayer focused game. I like it, but it's like I play it for the multiplayer. That's what I play it for.
No, me too. But I was just curious to see what the story was, and I only played like the first couple things, and I was like, you know what, this is no.
I even played the Octo expansion.
I even got that too. And I was like,
Yeah, it's like I bought the game because like, you know, like everybody was playing it, and I never touched the story. Like I went straight into multiplayer.
Listen. I was telling my son this, and I'm gonna say it now, and I'm not gonna say it no more. They need to do a battle royale with Splatoon, different colors, each person different color. Let's say Switch is red, 1UP is green, and so on and so forth. Do a map, and do it like that. They need to do that.
Oh man,
I think that would be awesome.
I thought of that, but I think the reason why they couldn't was I don't think the system could handle all that different color ink all over the freaking place.
Come on, Nintendo. Come on, Nintendo.
We're gonna have pink, blue, purple, black. I mean, what the heck's going on?
I mean, the whole game is based on fashion and all these ridiculous colors. It's such a beautiful game, man. It looks really good on HD. It's
Anyone heard about Splatoon 3?
They better do a better story.
I kind of think they're going to wait a little bit because Splatoon 2 is still selling, and I'm not sure, but it's still one of their best-selling games on the Switch. I think we're still maybe another year or two out from that game, or they might just wait for another console. I don't know.
All right, really quick. Top three. You're gonna go buy a Switch. What are the top 3 games you must have on the Switch?
That's a really good question.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Pokemon. I feel like that's a little bit biased.
Well, I mean, you are a trainer. I mean,
Mario Kart. I feel like Mario Kart is like literally an essential. It's a good game to play multiplayer. It's a good game to play by yourself. It's a good game to play when you have a bunch of people over. I feel like Mario Kart is a must-have. And Breath of the Wild. I didn't play it on the Switch. I played it on the Wii U. But if you pick up the Switch for the first time and you didn't have a Wii U and you didn't play Breath of the Wild and you are like even remotely a little bit of a Zelda fan, I'll even go as far as saying if you're a Fallout fan, you should pick up Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only one that doesn't have a Switch here, but
it's all good, man. It's all good.
I played Switch, and I would have to say Smash Brothers would be a must.
Yes,
that game is a lot of fun.
Okay.
But to change it up from you guys, I think for me, the most I would say Splatoon 2, Mario Maker 2, and I guess those. And the other games you guys were talking about too, but maybe the other Zelda game was it Link to the Past? That one's a pretty good one.
Link's Awakening.
Oh yeah, Link's Awakening.
I forgot about that.
That was a pretty good game, but just kind of didn't have any replay value after I finished it.
Oh wait a minute, Animal Crossing. You have to have Animal Crossing.
Hey!
Oh yeah. Number 1 game out right now.
You want your Mario Kart, Animal Crossing. You want your Zelda. One game that I don't think we spoke about. I want to go back to. Mario Odyssey. I sold it, and I'm like, damn it, I should never sold it. I just thought it was a great game, but they need to give a little bit more love to Luigi. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of I've heard that Luigi's got a upcoming his own game-ish similar to Mario Odyssey. I don't know if that's true. That's just gossip that's starting to pop around.
What was kind of interesting is that I thought pretty much every single Mario game, they always had a separate mode after you beat the game that had Luigi. I thought they would have that with Odyssey, but apparently they decided not to go that route with this game, which that's a shame.
Yeah, they did a DLC, which I didn't try, but it didn't seem interesting either. If you really want to get the Luigi experience in Mario Odyssey, there are people that are out there hacking the game where you can play as Luigi rather than Mario. Even when I played Mario Odyssey, as soon as I was able to get the full-on Luigi outfit, that was it.
Yes.
That's what he wore the whole time. He wasn't wearing anything else, just that Luigi outfit.
Yep.
If you ever catch my Mario Maker streams, I'm always Luigi every single time. I don't switch to anybody else.
That's right.
Yeah, they gotta. I don't know. They just gotta implement him. I don't know why they ever separated him with Mario. From day one, since Mario Bros, it's them two. Super Mario Bros is them two, and then I don't know.
He's the redheaded stepchild, man. They don't like him.
It's crazy, man. Even in Mario Maker, you're playing Mario Maker. If you're losing a lot, he just pops up. Hey, my big brother, let me help you. Sit down, Luigi. Sit down.
And the Paper Mario series, the one that came out for the N64 and the GameCube, I feel like Luigi could have had a bigger role and maybe even be a playable character. Didn't happen. Super Mario RPG didn't have Luigi until the end credits after you beat the final boss.
Luigi's missing.
Messed up. That's so messed up.
And I always like Luigi better than Mario because of the green. His green just pops a little bit better than his red, even though red's one of my favorite colors.
Green's
I like playing as Luigi more.
Me too. Good taste.
That's why my whole entire channel is green, because I love green.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's playing Animal Crossing right now?
Oh, me.
This guy.
Kinda.
This guy.
Well, okay. My wife's actually like in her bedroom, like right now, playing Animal Crossing, because like after I got like the second Switch, like I bought Animal Crossing digitally, so we can both play at the same time as long as my account's connected to both of the game or both the Switches. So she's out there. She's been playing on the older Switch that I have now, and she put in some hours, and I only put in like 10 or 5 or something.
I put in like 75, 80.
No,
dedication.
That was like the only game I was playing for weeks because it was quarantine.
The only thing that's been stopping me now is Mario Maker because of that stupid update. But
No, and one up. Let me tell you something. I know I'm kind of late on Celeste because I meant to buy the physical version, but limited run was taking way too long for me to get the physical version of a Celeste. But I've been playing Animal Crossing, Mario Maker, and now Celeste. I stayed up all night playing Celeste. Beautiful game. The music is fantastic, man. The story is so funny. It's awesome. Awesome game. If you guys don't have it, it's $5 in the eShop, by the way.
Yeah, when I started making those videos, I literally just bought it, and because I've been hearing everything, good things about it. I was like, it seems like a game that's up my alley, but I'm not really good at games, so like hard games I usually struggle with, but there's a good learning curve to it. I really like it.
It kind of reminds me of a Hollow Knight, just different graphics, but Hollow Knight's a pain in the butt too.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like Mario Maker kind of primed me for a more difficult game, so I was ready for it.
Yeah. I'll stop playing Celeste and I go to Mario Maker and then get my ass beat there and then go back over here. Awesome, it's good.
Like when people are like giving me, like when I used to stream Mario Maker, when people are giving me levels to play, they're like, yeah, play this level, and like do like the most impossible level.
Oh yeah,
you bastard. Or
like when I play like a 1-up level ups level, and like he gave me one to play, and like his levels weren't like that kind of hard. Like it just took you a while to figure it out. But then there's people out here that are like trying to like make you like time jumps and whatnot. I'm like, no, not about that.
I try to make levels that are like difficult but fun. Like they're still beatable. Like I want you to play my entire level. I don't want you to just give up after like the first quarter of the level. But like the last stream that I did a couple days ago, I probably only beat like maybe 2 levels because everyone was sending me all the new stuff, and I was like, I don't know how to do any of this stuff, so I was struggling with it.
I also make levels. I make really easy levels, like let's say for my nephews and nieces that they play. And the normal version of the game is too hard for them. They get killed by the first Goomba or whatever. So I have no Goombas and I have coins and whatever. They're like, oh, this is fun, So I'm glad for the World Maker also. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I only made a handful of levels in Mario Maker, but I felt like every one that I did make, like I kind of had like a theme that went to it. Like my piranha plant level, I had a level just strictly based on booze and bones. And I had a level that was based on the air. So like there's a level like where there's like a bunch of bullet bills that you had to go through, and you had to jump across the bullet bills to make it through the level. And like that was also another level that I think Mr. Switch and I actually played that level live one day. I mean, we were doing it together, and I found out that that's not a level that you can do with 2 people. Mainly because like if you hop on all the bullet bills and then you start over again and you're trying to go all the way back to the level, well, you hopped on all the bullet bills already. They're all gone. They're not coming back.
Yeah.
There's no way you can get through the level.
Yeah, I only made about 10 levels myself, but like I always try to pick a certain item or like a certain theme and kind of go with that the entire level. And I try to start off a little bit easier, give you kind of a warm up, but then I go full-fledged, right into it. But like ironically, my most popular level is my 1-up level up level that is dedicated to my channel, which is kind of ironic. So I was like, hey, whatever.
You know what kind of bumps me out is like I'm just thinking about retro games, and when you got your NES or Super NES games on your Switch, but then you got when the first Super NES came out, there's so many good games, but now you're not getting jack shit. You're not getting nothing good. I mean, they're missing some of the best titles. Like you don't even get Batman Returns. You don't even get Street Fighter. I want to play you guys in Street Fighter and whoop your ass, but I can't do
that. Sounds like a challenge.
We could all do that. We could all enjoy some retro gaming, maybe some Street Fighter, Ninja Turtles, whatever. But Nintendo's, why are they not giving out those main target games that made us happy back in the day, and they're giving us garbage?
Like Donkey Kong
I think it's
Country.
by
Why is that
licensing.
on there? Like, are you kidding me?
Right. It's only on the NES Mini or Super NES Mini.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this about Street Fighter, Capcom.
Yeah.
All I have to say.
Yep.
That'll be awesome, guys. We're reaching a 2-minute mark. So I mean, do you guys want to let's just finish up? We'll be at an hour and a half. That should be that's what we did last time. That's what we did this time. Just kind of end up. Any last things you guys want to say?
Yeah. I actually am curious. What is your most played game as far as hours is on your Switch? Like of the lifetime of your Switch, what's the game you played the most? I'll start off by saying that I am ashamed of saying this, but Fortnite is my most played game on my Switch.
Oh my god!
No,
That's
no,
it.
man.
I have almost 500 hours into that game. I'm sorry, guys.
How much? How many hours?
Almost 500 hours.
Legend.
Ooh,
Legend.
man.
It's
Legend.
Splatoon 2 is at 480, I think, and then Mario Maker 2 is at 200, a little over 200. So those are my top 3 games.
Let me check my profile real quick.
I mean, originally for me, because this is my third Nintendo Switch, it was, it is. It was Breath of the Wild, because I mean, that game's amazing. What can I say about that game? But right now, it's it's Animal Crossing. I'm getting close to 300 hours.
Holy crap!
Yeah, man.
Legend.
For me, it's Mario Kart. Or 410 on Mario Kart.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Legend.
NASCAR.
I have like maybe 35 on that game.
I feel like mine's a given. Pokemon Sword, 375 of just going around in circles and just hatching eggs and shit.
Missing sleep. 5 minutes.
Before that, though, it was definitely Mario Kart. It's not a lot, 120. But my nephew, who only had a Switch, mind you, from like January, already topped my Mario Kart hours.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Ninja, really quick, what games are you playing on the PS4 or in general? What games are you playing right now?
Oh, sure. So I'm still on Street Fighter 5 for the PS4. I'm back on Mortal Kombat 11, MK11. I'm also been playing. What was it? The other day. Oh God. I mean, I don't really play too many sports games on there, but I was playing MLB The Show 2K19.
What team?
Oh, Yankees.
Okay.
I'm from the Northeast, so it's either Boston or it's gonna be the New York Yankees.
Okay.
I'm a New York Yankee. I'm a New York sports fan, so it's gonna be the Yankees and Giants for me.
Okay, I'm glad you said Giants because I'm from Miami. I love my Dolphins. Forget the Jets.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing right now, and dabbling. I've been playing around with PS2, my PS2 Slim. That's pretty much it for now.
That's dope.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been talking about the Switch, and you don't have a Switch. You're like, what about the PS4, man?
I have played it though. Switch is like pretty addictive. I would like one.
QA, maybe next week we can have a topic on something that maybe you can bring up on your, because we talk about Nintendo, but let's talk about a little something that you want to talk about too. Maybe you can create a topic for us, because I know your gaming again is usually with Sony or retroish, but
oh sure.
Maybe something we'll talk. Just that way we'll have in case. Man, put that away.
Teach us how to mod a one-up arcade. Teach us how to mod a one-up arcade.
Okay, but
I have a couple of videos on that.
We got a lot of everything else.
Check it out right now.
Like we call it on Gamerz Realm featuring Nintendo, but we're all Nintendo here. But we also include all other gaming too. As a group
for
too.
sure, yeah. I'm gonna be doing a collab too with I am DJ Gamer. We're gonna be doing a collab for Funko Pops. I don't have a lot of Funko Pops. I only have maybe 4.
Oh yeah, I've been watching that. He's
a little bit of a rookie on the Funko Pop scene, but we're gonna be doing a collab on upcoming Funko Pops. That'll be coming out soon.
That's cool. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna cut this loose. I'll get back to the little Luigi. He was with his grandparents for the past 4 or 5 days. Now I'm gonna. Well, he just got home, so I'm gonna play with him and have some
Cool.
fun. But it was
Go ahead,
awesome.
man.
This is the second time we've done this. It turned out great, super awesome. I noticed we've had up to 13 people at the same time watching. So it's kind of like I felt it was more than last time. So we got to keep pushing. And
Yeah.
like next week, we'll think of some new subjects to talk about, maybe some similar ones. But I want to say thank you to everyone for One Up, for Retro, for Black Pokemon Trainer, for Cloudymind, for Toy Ninja, and everyone who was watching us. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Anyone
Thank
want
you.
to finish up? Any last words?
Hey, everybody who came through. Thank you for watching. We really do appreciate it. And thank you guys for inviting me to be on the panel. I really do appreciate it as well. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing this. And yeah, happy Friday, everybody. TGIF.
Happy
You guys have a
Friday.
great night.
Likewise. You guys be safe, man.
Hey, you too. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.
Take care, man.